Hello, welcome to today's next immigration tidbit. Have you been deported and you want to come back? Well, there are multiple different ways and many different kinds of petitions depending on the situation. For example, I've had people who, for example, committed fraud and were deported, and 10 years after they go, okay, I've waited the 10 years, now how do I get back? And I let them know that the fraud never disappears. They still need to do a fraud waiver even though the deportation bar of 10 years is over. And that they could have done that, basically a week after they were deported. You don't have to wait the 10 years. So if you've been deported, there's a deportation bar, and the length of it depends on the reason you were deported. So, for example, a typical crime would be about 10 years. That's the norm. But if you committed an aggravated felony, then it would be for life. And then, of course, there's things that can be done on that as well. However, assuming that you're not barred for life, which there can be stuff that can be done to help you, then once you are deported, permission to re-enter is the first petition that needs to be done. And you don't have to wait 10 years. I mean, the whole purpose of a permission to re-enter is so that you don't have to wait the 10 years. And if approved, then once you have a legal avenue in which to come into the U.S., there's no deportation bar standing in your way. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I would need to determine what kind of inadmissibility you have occurred in order to determine if there are waivers available and what needs to be done. So you need to prepare for a waiver, most likely of inadmissibility, whether it's crime, fraud, public charge, medical, whatever it is. And then, of course, I leave to the last, you would, of course, have to have some normal way to immigrate. Even if you had zero problems, you have to immigrate through employment, through self-petition, through, family, whatever it happens to be. So once you get all three of those together, it does take time and it does go through. But again, if you've been deported, don't wait 10 years to see if you can come back. You should get started right away if it's done properly. And then, this procedure sometimes takes a year, 2 years, give or take. But once all that's said and done, if it goes through, you would be a lawful permanent resident. Okay.